Brothers, Haynes, Maxwell, the men of the barn, the men of the Carolinas and surrounding area that have all been touched by this world and this piece of the movement of God, and beyond all of those acknowledgments, friends of Kevin Casner. We wanted to pause on behalf of John and Bart and our whole team out here and express, I think the most important way to say it is a deep sorrow and a deep celebration. Kevin was one of the earliest men who established a beachhead and an outpost in this revolution, this seeding the earth of restoring the hearts of men. I remember the earliest days of relating to Kevin at a boot camp the whole way to last year when he came here to the outpost in Colorado, and he was frail, he was skinny, but the stature of his soul, the tears in his eyes were just so reflective of the man that he had become. It was such a loss to hear that we no longer get to walk with Kevin. But it was beautiful. Haynes was out at the boot camp we were at Crooked Creek in his passing, and it was incredibly holy to think there were men from 48 states and 21 countries, 450 men gathered around God, seeking restoration, part of this movement that Kevin was central to. And Haynes was there with some allies, and that's when we got the news that he crossed over into the restoration of all things. And so as one of the many men impacted by his life, I wanted to pause to honor him, to acknowledge to his family and to his community of brotherhood, of the deep impact, the deep loss, and also the deep reality that he has been fully healed. I remember when Craig died. Craig and Kevin really have a similar place. Kevin in your story out in North Carolina, and Craig in our story and here in Colorado. They were the early guys, and John wrote a letter after Craig just battled leukemia for years when he finally crossed over, and he said Craig was fully healed. And I lost perspective because I was just in the fight for his life. And I realized in the time outside of time, that's the truth and the reality of what God's up to, that Kevin has stepped in. He has passed through the end of his beginning, and he is fully healed and fully well. And brothers, I was at a rite of passage 2 weeks ago, and a 60-year-old man gave me a vision of heaven that I had never thought of before. He said what he pictured in his prayers was that he would step into a stadium, and he wouldn't step in alone. He would step in as part of a fellowship, a group of men who together battled for the hearts of each other, and together battled for the hearts of others. And that stadium would be filled with lives of men and women and children that were there because of the collective work of this group of men. And he would stand among that group. And guys, that's what I think of when I think of Kevin, that he will step in to the celebration of all the lives rescued and restored because of him. But he will do it in a fellowship because of men like you and because of a family like the family that he had. And so on behalf of our whole team, we pause to acknowledge his life. And Father, I pray that his legacy would live within us. I pray that those seeds planted through his life would continue to root deeply in us, that there would be a generative nature through us of the legacy of Kevin, and that in his honor, we would continue forward. We would grieve in every way we would need to grieve and not skip over it. We would celebrate in every way we would need to celebrate. And we would continue the work, the high calling of becoming the kind of men that, God, you find absolute joy and pleasure in entrusting more and more of your kingdom. We honor this hero, this legend that's now gone from us and deeply with you. Kevin, we bless you, and we say you have come to the end of your construction. Welcome home. Welcome home. We love you guys. Bless you from the team at Wild at Heart. We'll see you soon.